Okay, the next of our four logos is the one that looks like this. It's called Film Strip. And if you go to your Canvas page, you should be able to find this. Right-click and do the Save Image As. And it'll come up with a name. Put it in your folder 3, just like we did with the first one the other day. Okay, then you go to your Illustrator and you want to bring that in. Now, you can bring it in on a separate template layer, or you can bring it in on the same template layer. It kind of depends on what you want. And for my thing, it doesn't really matter. You can unlock the original template layer that we worked last time. Forgive me, I don't have the drawing that we did last time, but we did do a drawing if you remember. And you can just unlock the template layer, select it, and do your place, just like we did last time. Navigate over to your file, find the film strip. You don't need to click here because you're bringing it in on a template layer. Now if you wanted to make a separate template layer, you could click there and it would come in on a separate template layer. I don't think you really need to do that. Go ahead and place it on the same template layer that we did this logo. Okay, now you do want to lock it and you do want to have a layer above it. So if you don't already have a layer, create a new layer and work on that layer. Remember, I did one that was called Film Reel, and then the new one that we're doing today is Film Strip, because it's got film strips on it. Okay, so I'll just put that one down here on top, and we'll pretend that that one's finished up there on the top. Okay. All right, now remember, as a template layer, you should not be able to select it. You can see it in either outline or preview mode. I'm clicking between preview and outline here. Okay, and you should be able to see it no matter what mode you're in. You can always turn it off. And I can see maybe there might be an advantage to having separate template layers if you only wanted to turn one of them off, but I really don't think it's a big advantage. Okay, for this, I'm going to suggest that you start on it this way. Just start with a black rectangle. You don't need a fill. You don't need a stroke. You just need a black fill. And we use the shortcut M for the rectangle, and just draw a little black rectangle right here. I'm extending over into that other film strip just a little bit. Okay, now in outline view, you can see through it. You can see what I'm planning here. We need these little pieces of film, or these little frames of the film here. And for that, I think the rounded rectangle is probably going to work best. Now the first one's kind of clipped off, so I'm going to draw a rounded rectangle right here. Now, remember about this, you can change the angle of the round corner as you draw with the round rectangle by clicking on the up arrow key or the down arrow key and see which one works. Okay, now the down arrow seems to be working. I don't know if you can see that or not. That pale green is not real great. Okay, but it started off too round, and then I did the down arrow key and made it more square. Okay. Okay, so I'll just draw that in here like that. Now, the rectangle should be a little bit skinnier this way than it is wide. Thinking about how film, if you've ever looked at a real film strip, it's a little bit skinnier than it is. It's a little bit skinnier in this dimension than it is this dimension. Okay, I know it doesn't look like it fits there real well, but I'm just going to put it right in there like that. Now, take this, let me see if I can make that color any better. And make it, well, it would look better. Make it darker green? How about something orangey? Is that any better? Maybe that's better. Okay. What I want to do here is I want to take this and put it in the first position. So I'm going to put it right there. I'm trying to center this up. Now you could use your align panel. Absolutely, you could use your align panel and center them this way with that tool right there, the vertical alignment. So now it's evenly spaced here and here. Pretty cool. Okay, now I'm going to deselect, outline view. My outline view, this actually needs to be white. So I'll change that so it looks better in preview. I'm going to drag this down, hold my shift key to keep it in straight alignment, and I'm going to hold the option key to make a copy. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see this better. There's my film strip. Remember, you draw one and you make a copy. You can use Command D to make subsequent copies. And don't worry if it's not perfectly aligned. What I'm mainly interested in is the span of the frames and how they line with the edge of this other frame. So I'm just going to zoom in real close here, and you can see kind of what I want here is for this last one to line up with the edge of that frame, the edge of the film below. And as luck would have it, it came out pretty even. Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete one simply because it looks like I have too many. And I want to move this one down, holding the shift key so it doesn't slide off my centering that I did with that background rectangle. Now you can see that I'm missing essentially one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and let me show you a cool way to select this. If you just select the whole thing, including the background rectangle, and then hold the shift key and deselect the background rectangle. Now we've looked at ways of selecting where you would select using the shift key or whatever to add, but you can also subtract from a selection. Let me do that one more time. I select all of these, and you can see that they're all selected. Then hold the shift key down to deselect just this one. So now it's just the white fills that are selected. I'm going to distribute these so that they are evenly spaced again. I'm going to use the options up here, horizontal distribute center. When I click there, you can see that they all line up perfectly with even spacing. Now you can zoom in on that again. Let me just get my zooms all settled out here. I'm going to zoom in this way. I've got two different ways to zoom, and it can be a little confusing. That looks better as far as the number of frames. I don't know that it's a really big deal. I mainly just wanted to show you how to use that distribute and the shift to deselect a multiple item selection. Click and then shift and click the one that you don't want to be selected. And you can see those are all selected now. Okay, so that film strip looks pretty good. It looks pretty finished. Okay, I'm going to select all of it again. And what I want to do here is I want to copy it. I'm just going to bring it down, option key, and copy. You could do that with just cut and paste, by the way. And then that one is, since I'm not really making a special spot for it, just copy, Command C and paste. That would work too. I want to rotate this copy. Okay, so I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm just going to rotate it this way. Hold the shift key when you get it to 90 degrees, and then very carefully, so you don't accidentally deselect anything, move it over into this space. Okay, and now you can see why I was trying to be careful about lining up this frame with the edge of the other film strip. All right, that looks pretty good. In outline view, you can see that it's a little long down here. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the part that I don't need here. I'm going to do it using a simple line segment tool. Let me just zoom in real close right here. And I'm going to just grab that line, hold the shift key down, and put a line right across there. Then I'm going to go to my object menu, path, and divide objects below. Using that as a kind of a blade, you can select all this now. You don't need it. You can delete that. You'll need to click twice there. Whenever you delete with the white arrow key, you need to delete twice. Okay, why? I don't know. They just make it that way. Okay, now we've got the frame, and that's pretty easy. Now we just need some type, and I really didn't plan very well here because I don't know what font to use, so I'm just going to remember the click method. I'm just going to click. And I'm going to find a font. I'm going to first type the type. I want to do it in all uppercase again. VISIBLE, using the default Myriad. But I want to select this, and I'm going to look for a type font. This time I'm looking for a special characteristic. I want a sans serif type that has a nice condensed look to it. Now, it turns out the very top choice there is a condensed typeface, so that one might work. And then I know that some of these other sans serif typefaces, as I'm looking through my list here, Eurostyle, no, it doesn't have a condensed version. Helvetica Neue has a condensed version. I might try that one. How about we take a look at that one? It's pretty vertical. It's okay. Let's see what that other choice that at the top looks like. That one's even, I think, maybe even better. I want to try that one and just see what I think about it. Now, remember, always hold the shift key when you're rescaling to see if that's going to work. It's really not quite condensed enough. Let's take one more look here and see what we find. Gil Sans, no. Okay, I don't see any condensed versions there. I'm going to pause here for just a second while instead of killing so much time on this video. Okay, I found a typeface I think will work. It's not ideal, but it's about as close as I can get. And it turns out it's Myriad Pro, but it's a semi-bold condensed. Okay, you'll need to look around until you find a type that's really long, tall, and sans serif. Okay, so I've stretched it here as much as I can with the shift key down. I'm going to have to stretch it just a little bit to make it fit this drawing. So I'm going to bring this on up, and I'll bring this in a little bit. And you can see, again, that I'm trying to use the stretchy stuff as little as possible, but still getting the height that I want. Okay, so there's visible. And then just like we did with the other one, if you'll click and drag with the Option key, and then just change the word to man. Okay, and again you can see that it's not quite exactly the right font, but it'll probably work for our purposes. Okay, I'm going to put that in there like that. I want to kind of bring this one down and a little closer to the right. Maybe bring this a little closer to the left. Because what I want here is for this to kind of match here at the top and this one to match at the bottom with the spacing just about the same. So that one needs to go there. Okay, that means this one needs to be that close. Alright, what I'm going to do is, as I look at this without the template turned on, you can make a little better judgment as to whether you've got your spacing correct here and here. And that one's still just a little bit low. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the position of this film strip. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit so that it matches better at the top. Then I can bring this one on down this way. All right, so there we've got the second logo of these four that's ready to go.